In the human's hand, she silently awaited death, but what he did shocked her. The war had ended, but the world still smelled like fire and loss. Ash drifted through the air as if the sky itself had been burned, and now it mourned in silence. She lay there, unmoving eyes shut, breath shallow, as she waited for the end. Her name had once meant thunder in her language. She had once roared across battlefields, and her enemies had known fear at her presence. But now she was quiet, broken ribs pressing like needles in her side, legs numb blood, soaking the dirt around her. Her hands, which had once gripped a plasma blade with strength and pride, were now still at her sides. She had been ready for the final strike, expected it, wanted it. Her people did not beg for mercy. They did not expect kindness. When captured, they were discarded, executed, silenced. She knew her fate and accepted it without a cry. Boots crunched softly in the ash. She heard them approach slow and steady. A single set, not many, just one. She did not open her eyes. It was better that way. Let it be quick. Let it be now. The steps stopped beside her. She waited for the sound of a weapon being drawn, for the energy crackle that would be her end. But instead, she felt a pressure at her side. A hand. Steady. Warm. She flinched, but still did not open her eyes. Then something soft pressed against her ribs. Cloth. Binding. Why? She opened her eyes, confused. A human man knelt beside her, his face tired, eyes focused on her wounds. He wore no armor, just a worn jacket with faded patches and dirt-stained sleeves. He said nothing at first as he secured the wrap around her middle, then met her eyes. His gaze was not cold, not mocking. It held no victory, only concern. "You are not going to die today," he said simply, as if stating a fact like the sky was gray or the wind was cold. She did not understand. Her lips moved, but no words came. Why would a human save her? She had killed his kind, fought against his people. He should hate her. He did not ask her name. He just picked her up slowly as if she were made of glass and carried her away from her ruins. She passed out once, twice, 3 times. But each time she woke, she was not alone. The same man sat nearby, tending a small fire, cleaning bandages, checking her wounds. Sometimes he hummed softly a tune she did not recognize but found strangely calming. Sometimes he said nothing at all. The shelter was simple, built from scraps, metal, and wood, and cloth pulled from wreckage. It stood against the wind with stubbornness more than design, but was warm inside and dry and quiet. Here she healed. She learned his name was Coren. He had been a combat medic until the last battle took everything. He did not speak of it much. His eyes did when they grew distant as he stared into the fire. She asked him once why he had not killed her. He paused before answering. "Because I have seen enough death. Because you were still breathing. Because it felt right." She did not know how to respond, so she nodded and said nothing more. Days became weeks. Her body healed slowly. He taught her to move again, helped her stretch her limbs, walk with her around the small camp until her strength returned. She hated being weak, but he never mocked her, never made her feel less. She told him her name, Relyn. It was the first thing she gave him. The second was her story. He listened without interrupting as she spoke of her childhood, her training, the battles, the losses, the orders. She had been proud once. Now she was just tired. He told her about his sister, the one who taught him to patch wounds using dolls and cloth scraps when they were children. She had died early in the war. He had not forgiven the war since then. They shared silence as easily as they shared stories. Sometimes they sat outside and watched the stars. She pointed to constellations from her world. He laughed and told her they had different names on Earth, but they still shined the same. He grew food in a small patch of soil protected from a wind. She helped him plant and water and learned the rhythms of a life without war. It was strange. It was peaceful. One night, she woke from a nightmare breath, fast heart racing. He was already beside her, hand on her shoulder, steadying her without a word. She looked at him and felt something she did not recognize. Not fear, not sorrow, something softer. "Why are you still here?" she asked. "Because I choose to be," he said. She turned away, unsure how to answer. In the weeks that followed, she began to laugh again. Not loudly, not often, but enough that he noticed. He smiled when she did, not because he had won something, but because he was glad she could. She hunted once using a bow he had made. She brought back meat, and he cooked it. They ate together by firelight, watching shadows dance on the shelter walls. There were days she wanted to leave to find her people, to return to something familiar. But each time she looked at the horizon, she found herself turning back to the garden, to the shelter, to him. She helped rebuild the water collector when it broke, helped mend the broken solar panel, learned human songs and sang them in her own language. He laughed at her accent, but only gently, never cruelly. One evening, he gave her a necklace made from scrap metal shaped into a simple symbol. It looked like a sun with many rays. "It means life," he said. She wore it every day after. Then one morning a ship passed overhead. A recon drone. She tensed, ready for the end again. But it did not stop. It scanned. It left. He asked her then what she wanted to do. She looked at the sky, then back at him. "Stay," she said. He nodded. Then stay. They planted more, grew more, learned more. She taught him her language. He taught her how to fish. They found laughter in small things, joy in the ordinary. She asked him again why he saved her. Because in that moment, he said, "I saw not an enemy, but a person who deserved a second chance." "And you gave it," she said. "Yes," he said, "and you made it worth it." She did not cry, but her hands found his and held them. They were not lovers, not yet, but they were more than strangers, more than enemies. Something had grown between them, shaped by quiet acts and shared days. Years later, when others came looking, they found a garden, a home, two people who had once been at war, but now lived in peace. They asked her who she was. "I am Relyn," she said. "Warrior, survivor, and I chose to live." They asked her what the human had done to earn her loyalty. She looked at Coren and said, "He saw me when no one else did. He held my life in his hands. I waited for death, but he gave me hope.